Hello students, in this video I have a CBSE class 12 chapter 5 titled Indigo, authored by Sukesh Sir. The first part I already uploaded, the first part explanation I have already uploaded on YouTube. You can see that two types Sukesh Mishra CBSE in YouTube. In this portion, in this video I will explain part 2. Okay. In first part we explained that M.K. Gandhi, on the request of the Champaran farmer Rajkumar Shukla, went to Patna, and there he waited for Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and from there he, in spite of going directly to Champaran to know the situation of the sharecroppers, he decided to go to first visit to Muzaffarpur, and there he wanted to have a detail of this situation of the farmers, because students, you must know that why M.K. Gandhi went to Champaran. He went to Champaran because the British landlords were cheating Indian farmers, okay, and they were doing injustice towards Indian farmers. For that purpose, Rajkumar Shukla came to take M.K. Gandhi in Lucknow, from Lucknow convention, but he did not go directly from there. He told that I will come to Calcutta on such a date, such a time and such a date. You should come and fetch me from there. Rajkumar Shukla fetches him from Patna, from Kolkata. They both came to Patna. There they tried to meet a famous lawyer and famous person of Indian history, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. But he was not available at his home at that time, so they were not able to meet him. Thereafter, Gandhi thought that it is better to have some knowledge, to meet Professor J.B. Kriplani. He wanted to meet J.B. Kriplani in Muzaffarpur. So he came there and he met to J.B. Kriplani and had the better idea of the farmer's situation. Now let's start explanation. The news of Gandhi's advent. So Gandhi is in Muzaffarpur, okay, and the news of Gandhi's advent means arrival, that is, and of the nature of his mission spread quickly through Muzaffarpur and to Champaran. So as Gandhi reached to Muzaffarpur, the news of his arrival, advent, reached everywhere, every nook and corner of Muzaffarpur, and people are also well aware that his nature of mission means they were well aware that M.K. Gandhi is a person who believes in non-violence, who believes in peace, but they also knew that this man is very adamant, and whatever he decides, once he decides, then he only finishes that mission. He only finishes that mission when he gets success. Means it was a style of M.K. Gandhi, that is called, and the nature of his mission. It was the nature of the mission of M.K. Gandhi. What was the nature of M.K. Gandhi's mission? His nature was that once he took whatever the task, challenge in his hand, okay, he never leaves that, he never discards that before he finishes that. So his nature of working, okay, on the missions, he also came here the mission to improve the situation of the Champaran farmers and to fight for them against the British landlords' injustice. So this news and his arrival news is spread all through the Muzaffarpur and to Champaran as well. Sharecroppers from Champaran began to arriving on foot. That's why the sharecroppers knew that a man has come to fight for them. Now the sharecroppers started arriving to meet him, to see Mahatma Gandhi. Some were coming on foot by convenience, someone coming by convenience means transport, to see their champion. They wanted to see the champion that has come to fight for them. Muzaffarpur lawyers called on Gandhi to brief him, and in Muzaffarpur there were many lawyers. Okay, so M.K. Gandhi called all the lawyers of Muzaffarpur to brief him. M.K. Gandhi called all the lawyers, Indian lawyers who are in Muzaffarpur. He called them that please come, all the lawyers, to me and brief me, means give me the situation and the condition of the farmers and situation of the case. Okay. They frequently represented peasants groups in the court. So now all the lawyers are replying to M.K. Gandhi, briefing him, giving him reports. They are telling that lawyers told that we frequently, means continuously, represented peasants groups in the court, that we represent means we fight the cases of we represent the cases of Indian farmers, sharecroppers into the court. They told him about their cases. They also told about the cases to M.K. Gandhi, that what kind of cases we are representing of these farmers, and reported the size of their fee, and they also told that what kind of fee they charge from the poor farmers for the cases. Gandhi chided. Actually, Gandhi, after listening to all the things from the lawyers, Gandhi scolded them. Why he scolded? Because of fee. They were charging a big amount of fee from the poor farmers. That's why, being Indian lawyers, okay, taking huge charge of fee from the poor farmers, Gandhi scolded them, chided them. The lawyers were collecting big fee from the sharecroppers. He told that you were collecting big fee, and that's why he scolded them. He said, Gandhi told, I have come to the conclusion that we should stop going to law courts. Gandhi told that, as per your briefing and reports, I have come to the conclusion that there is no use, there is no need, there is no benefit to go to the court of law. Taking such cases to the courts does little good, because taking such type of cases to the courts do little good. Why such type of cases? Such type of cases means courts are home, Britishers. Who are the landlords? Britishers. Okay, who are the farmers? Indians. And we are the slave of Britishers. So courts are there, landlords are there. What is the benefit to take cases to them? They will never give decision, they will never give any decision in the favor of the sharecroppers. That's why he says that it is not beneficial to represent such of cases into the law courts. Where the peasants are so crushed and fear-stricken, he says that where the peasants are so crushed, means so they are so depressed, they are so much tortured, and so fear-stricken, so fearful that they are scaring to face the British government and landlords. And in this condition, there is no need to represent these cases to the law courts. Law courts are useless. He told that in these cases, in this condition, the law cases are courts are completely useless. The real relief for them to be free from fear. Gandhi told the real relief from for these poor farmers are that we have to convince them, and we have to make them brave enough that they should be, first of all, we have to make them free from fear. If their fear will, they won't have any fear, then they will fight for themselves. We don't need to support even. So first of all, we have to remove their fear from their hearts. Okay, and if they will learn overcome their fear, then they will fight for themselves for the justice. Most of the arable land, arable means the agriculture, Gandhi told that most of the agricultural land in the Champaran district was divided into large states. Okay, so why Gandhi came and what was the injustice that was done towards Indian farmers, sharecroppers, that has been discussed here. क्या वो रीज़न था जिसकी वजह से इंडियन फार्मर्स ने, शेयरक्रॉपर्स ने गांधी को अप्रोच किया था, वो चीज़ यहाँ पे देखिए. Most of the agricultural land, okay, on which the crops could be sown in Champaran district, that were divided into large estates, means large parts, owned by Englishmen, and the owner of those estates were, land properties were Englishmen, and worked by Indian tenants, and on those lands Indian farmers tenants. Tenants is a kind of farming on which you only crop land, only crop you do only cropping, okay, farming, but the land is not owned by you. That kind of land is called tenant kind of farming, and sharecropping also. The chief commercial crop was indigo, and at that time the chief commercial cash crop, you can say, was indigo. The landlords compelled all tenants. The landlord forced, actually it was a condition basically, they forced all the tenants, means farmers, to plant 3/20th or 15%. To plant 3/20th means if the total land is divided in 20 parts, the 3 parts of that total land, that is called 15% in percentage, 3/20th or 15% land to holdings, means to the share which they were having. With indigo, means it was the condition of the British landlords to the farmers that they have to crop indigo on the 15% of the total land necessarily. Okay, that was necessary, and also the surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. And from that indigo crop, the British landlord told that you have to crop on the 15% of the total land compulsorily indigo, and that total indigo crop would be surrendered as rent to the British landlords. Means from that indigo crop they will not get anything. Okay, the farmers will not get anything. Students would be thinking that how it is injustice towards them. It is injustice, as I say. Suppose as I say that whatever the land I have given you and you are doing sharecropping tenancy, okay, and I say that you have to crop on the 15% of the total land which I have given you for the sharecropping, cashew or almond, cashew ya badam bodo, and give me that all cashew or almond to me. You need not to take anything, and in rest whatever you are cropping, that will be 50-50. Do you know that what is injustice? आप समझ गए होंगे कि इंडिगो और बाकी के क्रॉप में क्या डिफरेंस था. So this was done by a long-term contract, and this sharecropping was done a long-term contract, means legal contract. There was a legal bond agreement was signed by the farmers and the landlords, and it was done. This kind of farming was done. Presently, the landlords learned that Germany had developed synthetic indigo, and right now, okay, in the meantime, it was going okay. Indian farmers were doing sharecropping, and they were cropping on the 15% of the land, the indigo. They were surrendering all the indigo crops to British landlords. That okay, but in the meantime, the British landlords learned, means they knew, news came to them that Germany has started creating synthetic indigo, means artificial indigo, and you know that artificial indigo will be definitely cheaper than the natural indigo. They thereupon, and that's why they, means the landlords, British landlords, after that obtained agreements from the sharecroppers. They started taking agreements from the sharecroppers. What kind of agreements? To pay them compensation from being released from the 15% arrangement. Means students understand it very carefully. This was the point of dispute actually. That's why this chapter and this whole Champaran movement took place. Actually, all the Indian farmers were troubled, and they wanted to get rid of the 15% necessary indigo sharecropping. They wanted to get rid of that. They were troubled because of that. So they wanted to get rid of that. Okay. While British landlords learned that Germany has started creating synthetic indigo, they started producing synthetic indigo. So demand of natural indigo, which was produced by Indian farmers, decreased in the international market. Okay. And that's why there was a kind of conspiracy done by the British landlords. They proposed to the Indian farmers, okay, that we are ready to give you relaxation from the 15% indigo cropping. Means now after that you can crop on the 100% land whatever the crop you like. There is no force. We are not going to force you to crop necessarily on the 15% of total land indigo, but for that reason, because of your indigo we earn money. The British landlords told that because you produce indigo for us, and because of indigo we earn money, so if we are going to release you from this necessary 15% indigo sharecropping, we will have economical loss. If British landlords told that we will have economical loss. So for that purpose, all the farmers, you need to sign an agreement that we are releasing you from the 15% in necessary indigo sharecropping, and but whatever the economical loss we are going to have, British landlord told to Indian farmers that whatever the economical loss we are going to have, for that, okay, you have to give some compensation, okay, some payment, okay, you have to give some money. Means they told that sign this bond, give us some money, and we will release you from the 15% indigo sharecropping. Okay, understood? Continue. Peasants, to pay them compensation from being released from the 15% arrangement. Okay, they told that we will release you from the 15% necessary indigo cropping. The sharecropping arrangement was irksome to the peasants. The sharecropping arrangement was very irksome, means very tiring, very irritating for the Indian farmers, and many signed willingly. And many of the farmers, while this proposal was given by the British landlords, they signed willingly. And those who resisted, and those farmers who resisted, means who protested to sign on the bond, engaged lawyers. They called lawyers. Okay, means they filed their cases in the court. The landlords hired thugs. Now the landlords started forcing the Indian farmers, okay, that you have to give compensation, and you have to sign necessarily this bond, and you have to pay compensation. So landlords hired thugs, means you can say that kind of bouncers, gundas. Okay. Meanwhile, The information about synthetic indigo reached the illiterate peasants who had signed, but in the meantime, the news about the synthetic indigo, that Germany has started creating synthetic indigo, and that's why these Britishers are saying that we are going to release you from the compulsory necessary 15% indigo cropping. The farmers who they have signed and paid amount, okay, they thought that they have been cheated by the landlords, and it was actual case that they were cheated by the British land. Actual reason was not told by them, that why they are going to release from the 15% necessary indigo cropping. Why? Because Germany started creating synthetic indigo, and the actual price of natural indigo decreased in the international market. That's why they released the Indian farmers. They were not very kind-hearted and very gentle person, that because of kind-hearted and gentleness they were going to release Indian farmers from this necessary cropping. It was a cheap cash crop for them. So the farmers who they have paid and signed the bond willingly, they knew that Britishers have cheated them to take the compensation from them, and they wanted their money back. And now those farmers who they have paid and signed the bond, they wanted their money back. They started asking the British landlords that please return my money. At this point, Gandhi arrived in Champaran, and this was the point Gandhi arrived in Champaran when British farmers were fighting against the when Indian farmers were fighting against the British landlords for taking their money back, which was charged deceivably and cheatingly from them. Gandhi came to Champaran. This was the very moment. He began by trying to get the facts. Now Gandhi started searching the facts. He started investigating the case. He started finding the facts. First, he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. First of all, M.K. Gandhi went to the secretary of the British Landlords Association. The secretary told him that they could give no information to an outsider. The secretary told to the M.K. Gandhi that we could give no information to an outsider. Secretary told M.K. Gandhi that you are an outsider, and that's why I will not give any information regarding sharecroppers and landlords, that what happened and what is the reason to you, because you are an outsider. It was according to secretary, because he was British landlord secretary. He will also think about the British benefit. That's why Gandhi answered that he was no outsider. Gandhi told, no, I am not outsider. Okay, so you have to give me the reason, tell me the details that why it is done with the Indian farmers. Next, Gandhi called on the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division. Thereafter, Gandhi was called by the commissioner of the Tirhut. Tirhut is a place name in Tirhut division name in which Champaran lies. Okay, so in which the Champaran district lay. Champaran district lay in Tirhut division. So Tirhut division commissioner called M.K. Gandhi. M.K. Gandhi was called by Tirhut division commissioner. The commissioner, Gandhi reports, Gandhi told later on, okay, that the commissioner called him, proceeded to Bali. Bali means commissioner started threatening to Gandhi. Commissioner started threatening to Gandhi. Okay, and advised me forthwith to leave Tirhut. Gandhi says that commissioner told me that if you will fight for the Indian farmers, then you should be ready for the result. Okay, means you may be sent to jail and whatever it is, prison. So he was being threatened by the commissioner M.K. Gandhi, and commissioner also told that you should leave Tirhut division, you should leave Champaran as soon as it is possible. Gandhi did not leave, but Gandhi was a very resolute person. He did not leave the place. Instead, he proceeded to Motihari. Rather than leaving that place, he proceeded towards Motihari, another place in Bihar, the capital of Champaran, which is capital of Champaran. Several lawyers accompanied him. Along with Gandhi, several lawyers also went to there, Motihari. At the Motihari railway station, a vast multitude greeted him. A vast multitude means a huge crowd, a big crowd of people. A lot of people welcomed him, greeted Gandhi. He went to a house. M.K. Gandhi went to a house and using it as headquarters, and he started using that house as an headquarters. He made that house an office. And continued his investigations. He continued his investigations about the farmers' injustice towards farmers, and about landlords, all the issue. A report came in that a peasant had been maltreated in a nearby village. In the meanwhile, Gandhi received a report from that in a nearby village, a farmer was maltreated, means badly treated by, maybe beaten also by British landlord. Okay, in Motihari, where he was living right now. Gandhi decided to go and see. Gandhi decided that he will go to the farmer's house and he will see the situation. He had not proceeded. The next morning, Gandhi decided to go and see. The next morning, he started out on the back of an elephant. Gandhi sit on the back of an elephant. Next morning, for what purpose? To go to the farmer's house to see him and to ask him that why the British landlord maltreated you, badly treated you. He had not proceeded for Gandhi had not proceeded a long distance. Okay, when the police superintendent's messenger, when the messenger of the SP, police superintendent, overtook him by a vehicle. Okay, he was going on elephant and he overtook him with the vehicle and ordered him to return to town. And you can say that attendant or almost the messenger of the SP asked him to come to him, asked him to return, and he told that come into my carriage. The messenger told Gandhi that please come down and sit into my carriage, and Gandhi complied as the messenger told. Gandhi agreed also. Gandhi did the same. He came down from descended from the elephant and sit into his car. The messenger drove Gandhi home, and the messenger took Gandhi to his home, where he served him with an official notice to quit Champaran immediately, where the messenger gave M.K. Gandhi. Okay, so the messenger took M.K. Gandhi to his own home, and there he gave him an official notice in written form, and in that notice it was written that you have to leave Champaran. Quit means leave Champaran as soon as it is possible. Means in that notice it was ordered for the legal order for Gandhi that you have to leave Champaran as soon as it is possible. Gandhi signed a receipt for the notice. Gandhi was signed a receipt for the notice which he received, because that was a legal receipt, legal notice, and wrote on it, and he wrote on that receipt on which he signed that he would disobey the order, that he will not obey the order, he will disobey the order, means he will not leave Champaran. Though it was a court order or a legal order, but he is not going to leave Champaran. That was his, okay, that was his reply in the response of that notice. In the consequence and a result of that denial that he will not leave Champaran, Gandhi received a summon. Gandhi received a summon means a court summon, you know, that notice, court order to appear in the court next day. That next day he has to appear in the court, means a case was filed against him by the British government against Gandhi. So next, students, in the next part of the videos. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Okay, and please like, share and subscribe my channel, dear students. Thank you.